So like I said, tonight we're going to be talking about how to inspire others to become better leaders. My name is Sarah Rogers. I am a 3-star double platinum, founder, council member, 3-time IATAN card holder, and a top income earner. So I'm very excited to be able to pour into you guys. I found this opportunity close to 5 years ago now, and I really didn't know the power of what it had when I walked into this. So at first I thought, okay, I'm just going to get in here and I'm just going to book a little bit of travel, make some money. I was super desperate to just find anything that would allow me to grow from my home because I had to take care of my little girl. And what I really discovered was this unlimitless opportunity, not only to help myself grow, but to help others grow and pay it forward and develop other people. And I really have been blessed to have the privilege now to have a team of over 6,000 agents collectively in the organization. And we run with some really amazing people. There's some really incredible leadership. And now I really do get the privilege to be able to sit back and watch them lead their teams and them inspire other people. And, they truly do inspire me every day to continue to what it is that I'm doing now. So if you're somebody that's just kind of new to this opportunity, you're filling it out. I always say that you never want to cut out the opportunity to grow residual income for yourself to help others. I always say once you know a thing, you should be able to teach a thing. And if you can teach a thing, you can truly help impact people in a very positive way for the better, and you can leave them in a better place than you found them to begin with, right? So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. And now if you know me, I'm very interactive with my people, so I am going to be asking a lot of questions, crowd participation, things of that nature. Go ahead and take your notebooks out. I am going to give you some easy to digest kind of nuggets tonight, talking about how to lead others. Okay, so the very first thing, and it's going to sound really basic, guys, but the fundamental thing to becoming a great leader in the first place, to inspire others, is understanding that you must work towards crafting your own leadership first, right? It's like pour into yourself, make sure yourself is good. So that way, if you can develop your own business, you're going to be able to teach it, right? What did I just say a couple minutes ago? You got to know a thing to teach a thing, right? And so when you're able to really hone in on yourself and lead yourself, right? It starts with you first. So you have to work towards crafting your own leadership first. And then that leadership journey will truly, really begin to now where when you've mastered it within yourself, you're now able to go and master it with other individuals, right? And I'm going to tell you one of the keys to being able to grow my organization. It's not just a me thing, right? It's a we thing. It's not just me pouring into other people. It is me spending time developing others and helping empower them, right? And do all of these amazing things. And that really has been a major key to the ability to scale at the level that I've been able to scale, right? So let's talk about some of the things that you're going to need to possess in order to really become that great leader to inspire others. Okay, so we're going to go into 5 characteristics of a great leader. Okay, so number 1 is great leaders always take the least credit. Okay, great leaders always take the least credit. What do I mean by this? A great leader, in my mind, always takes the least credit. Why? Because they understand that if they take the least credit, you will actually, in turn, encourage others to do more and duplicate and replicate. Okay, have you guys ever heard any of our founder or Elite 8 leadership say, we celebrate, we don't tolerate, right? We like to clap for people. Why? That's empowering. Most people never get clapped for, guys. There's been times where I've congratulated somebody or shouted somebody out and they're like, wow, I can't even remember a time in high school where I got shouted out. And here we are in our mid-30s trying to do this business and they're getting shouted out for the first time in decades, right? That feeling is really, really empowering. That's going to motivate other people to want to continue to replicate what they just did. And so I always say, guys, you want to be able to celebrate, not just tolerate people. I don't care if it's, the first booking that they did was $200, celebrate that. Tell people, showcase that, screenshot it, put it in your group chats, put it in your group lines, put it wherever it is that you celebrate people all over, and encourage. You shouldn't be the only one celebrating, right? You should have other people on your team celebrating that individual, because I promise you that if you want to get celebrated, other people are going to want to get celebrated too, right? And you become actually less significant when you can push others to the front and you step to the back, right? Some of my proudest moments are always going to be at convention. I do like a little proud mom thing when I get to see my other leadership that has grown throughout the years actually take stage, and I'm actually sitting back and I'm like, wow, like there's this person here who started off maybe a little bit shy or uncomfortable, maybe not the most confident in their skill set, and now they get to train on stage and impact so many other people, right? So it really becomes less about me and more about pushing others to the front to celebrate and encourage them. Okay. Like I said, it's a we movement, not a me movement. That's super big. Okay, guys. So one of the other characteristics I think that takes to be a great leader is great leaders are action performed based. Okay. What do I mean by that? Great leaders promote actions as much as results. Okay. So we just talked about celebrating people for making their first booking, celebrating their people for ranking up. Maybe they hit executive, bronze, all of these other things. But how often do we also celebrate and encourage people that just took the first step? Hey, how many of you guys go into your chats and ask people, how many of you guys marketed the business today? How many of you guys put your travel ads up? How many of you guys send out some quotes today? And celebrate those things, right? Because most people get stuck or never move forward in this business simply because they were afraid to take action. So again, don't just celebrate the milestones of achievement, right? Celebrate the fact that people are actually taking action. Activity breeds results, right? If you promote others for activities they do, I promise you, it's also going to encourage the next person that's watching. Like, wow, Betty just got shouted out because she just exposed her business today. I want to get a shout out too. And that's all that I have to do. And so what's going to happen, it's going to create this positive momentum, this energy that is contagious, right? Like I said, people want to be clapped for, people want to be celebrated. And so when you are generating action and you're celebrating action, and you yourself, you're actually doing the action with them, right? It's going to breed so much more positive momentum, and people are just gonna, it's like that movement, right? It takes one or two people dancing on the hill, and then the next thing you know, you got like 20 other people with them, and then the next thing you know, you got like 50, 70, 100 people with them, right? Start that movement. As a leader, it starts with you setting the example of what should be celebrated. Okay, don't just get so focused on people hitting milestones, right? Be focused on people just taking the courage to take an action within their business, and celebrate them for that. Number 3, I always think great leaders inspire others. They don't just rely on motivation. Kind of be like, what do you mean by that, Sarah, right? Great leaders inspire. They don't just rely on motivation. Inspiration, guys, comes from the activity that you are doing, right? If you are in movement, your team will be inspired to be in movement as well. Okay. They get inspired by watching you. Just show them how you do it. I'm going to give you a really basic example. I secured a group family reunion cruise contract the other week. And so I put together the landing page in my Travefy, right? I did all the quoting, everything like that. And I was showing my team, hey team, I just created a landing page. This is what it looks like for my client, for my family reunion cruise, right? I'm showing them what I'm actually doing in the field, right? Because that's encouraging them. Now this brings up questions, right? Okay, Sarah, can you show me how to do that? Or maybe somebody else really knows how to do that. And so they're like, I want to do a training on this, right? And it's just inspiring momentum, right? It's inspiring in a different way than just putting motivational quotes or motivational videos inside of your chats or groups or whatever the case may be, right? They get inspired by watching you, right? So be consistent yourself. Go out there, show your team that you're posting ads, show your team that you are inviting others to the opportunity presentations and that you're getting them there. Show your team when you're closing people, right? Show your team when you are able to save an agent that wants to quit, and we encourage them and we poured love into them and they decided, I'm not going anywhere. I love this culture too dang much, right? Show them how you do that. Show them how you have conversations with your travel clients, how you have conversations with your prospects, role play, do all of that thing, all of those things, right? Because what happens is you start leading from the front, which is leading by example. And now they're inspired, not only because they know all of these great things that you do and you motivate them and you say uplifting and encouraging things, but you're matching that energy by showing them of all the great things all the great actions that you are taking, right? Again, you are influencing the momentum by creating the momentum, and it starts with you first, right? Here we go. And great leaders are decisive. Okay, be completely decisive. So I kind of use this example, and if you're on my team, you know you're going to hear this a lot. I use the example of coming into a car sales lot. Okay, come into a car sales lot, and I have sales guy number 1, I have sales guys number 2. Okay, talk to sales guy number 1. We're going to call him Bob. Bob, hey, what's up? I'm looking for a new car. I don't really, I kind of want an SUV. That one looks nice. Can you tell me about that one over there? And Bob's like, oh yeah. So that's our middle base. No. I think it's our top tier base. I gotta check to see what kind of comps are inside of it. But let's go. Do you want to take it for a test drive? I think we should take it for a test drive and see how you feel about it. And instantly, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Like now, I'm kind of like second guessing it. Why? Because that indecisive energy influenced me to also be indecisive, right? So leading sometimes with confidence, right? That's a transfer of energy, right? So what you're doing is you're actually putting your confidence out there and you're allowing that to be transferred onto your team. I don't care if you have one person on your team. I don't care if you have 20 or 1,000 people on your team, but be confident, okay? Be decisive with your language, okay? With your words, with your actions, okay? Don't be scared to lead, okay? And it's okay. Guess what, guys? Leadership doesn't mean that you have to do everything the right way 100% of the time. It's actually, to me, I actually don't mind when my team sees me, oh, I made a mistake. Number 1, that tells them I'm human. Number 2, that tells them that they don't have to focus on being perfect, okay? I instead would much rather my team focus on progression. And so when I alleviate myself from the need of needing to be perfect, it actually allows me to be more confident in leading my team, because I know even if I do mess up, I'm going to show them how I stepped over that hurdle and proceeded to push through that mess up. And it's still allowed me to progress. Okay. So some people, they get a little bit unconfident and they become indecisive because they want to lead with such perfection. I got to be this perfect leader. I can't make any mistakes. I got to always get up and I got to bring 10 people every time to the meeting and I have to close 10 people. Stop getting in your own head, okay? It's okay to be imperfect, but that doesn't mean that you still can't have that confidence, even if you do mess up, right? But you have the ability to actually be the example for your team. Like, hey, you know what? Yeah, maybe I fumbled that client phone call, but this is what I learned. And now you have the ability to turn it into a positive learning experience, right? There again, creating that confidence, right? One of my other things is great leaders lead outside of their business. And so this is something that you can start doing right away. Today, tomorrow, doesn't matter, okay? And it has nothing to do with actually being inside of this business, okay? But I truly believe you want to carry yourself the way you carry yourself in all areas. How you do one thing is how you do all things, okay? So how do you lead outside of your business? Are you somebody that praises other people? Do you encourage other people? Do you give other people credibility? Right? So when you're going out to eat and you can see that your waitress is a little bit stressed out, do you encourage her, hey, you know what? I see this is really, really busy. I just want to let you know, I think you're doing a great job tonight. When was the last time you did that, right? And what happens? You are actually influencing that energy in the room, right? You can actually turn that around. So maybe, yeah, she's feeling a little bit frustrated, but your encouraging words just turned her perspective around, right? You put a smile on her face. You physically changed maybe she stood up a little bit straighter, right? And now she's going into the next transaction with a little bit more pep in her step. She's happier. She feels a little bit just more relieved that somebody recognized that, right? Don't be scared to also lead and encourage outside of this business, because I promise you, it also gets easier when you start doing those kinds of things outside of your business. Okay, you start living and breathing encouragement and leadership. And so it actually becomes easier, right? It's like, I don't know how to do it. Just start doing it. Start complimenting other people. Start encouraging other people. You're at the gym. You got the guy next to you on the treadmill. He's gassing out. Hey, you know what, dude? High five. Keep it going. We're almost there. I got another 5 minutes too. Let's do it together. Let's push through, right? And you're creating this momentum of encouragement, right? And you're constantly breathing that, right? And so it transfers. It's going to be easier for it to transfer into your organization as well. Oops, here we go. I'm so used to my Google Slides. Okay, so here, guys, Now we're going to transition a little bit. So we've been talking about yourself, what you can do for yourself to be able to really work on yourself, harvest your leadership energy, so that way you can start pouring into others, right? So now that you're in the stage of, okay, I'm ready to pour into others, who do I pour into? I got 60, 100 people on my team. Who do I figure out how to help? How do I recognize future top leaders? Okay. So I'm going to give you some tidbits on what you to look out for that may give you some clues as to, this person should be somebody that I'm really helping to develop, really pouring into, giving some additional attention to. Okay. Number one, people that are proactive inside of the business. People that are proactive inside of the business. Okay. They seek things out and they finish things. Okay. They're constantly seeking stuff out to do. Hey, Sarah, I just want to let you know, I put up 5 travel ads today. I had a consult today, right? I know that this person's working their travel business, right? Hey, great job. Let me see your travel ads. Let's see what kind of results are you getting. Great. I'm going to dive in a little bit more deeper with them because I want to encourage them to continue that momentum, right? And so I am definitely going to spend a little bit more time with them to help replicate that momentum, that proactiveness that they're taking inside of their own business, right? You often find maybe sometimes they do well with challenges, right? You give them a little bit of a challenge and they come back, okay, Sarah, I did it, what's next, right? Sometimes people, I find that they get a little bit off-putted, like, oh my God, this person's just like really completing everything and they're kind of going fast. But use that, harvest that energy, right? Understand that that is a potential great leader right there, because they're actually really, really being proactive. Earlier, we talked about just simply celebrating people because it's so hard sometimes for people to just take action, right? So that the fact that you have people right now in your organization that are taking some action, that they're being proactive, that should actually be a signal to you like, hey, this is for future potential leadership, right? Another thing that I think of is people that bring you problems, not complaints, right? So I actually tell my leaders a lot, gripe up, don't gripe sideways. I hear a lot of things, right? One of the things that'll stick out to me is this somebody that's calling me to complain? Or is this somebody that's bringing a problem to me? Because there are two different things. They're very, very different things, right? So I'm going to give you an example of what a problem sounds like versus a complaint, so that you can start to recognize and identify, is this person bringing me a problem? Or is this person simply just here complaining? Okay. So example of a problem. Okay. You have an individual inside of your organization. They come up to you and say, hey, Sarah, you know what, man? I'm a little bit stuck here. I attempted to reach out to about 50 people today. And when I reached out to them to invite them to the prospect meeting, I had this response. I'm just kind of trying to figure out, like, Sarah, what if you got these response, what would you be saying back? They brought me a problem. Okay. So where some people might say like, God, this person's so negative, they're complaining, understand and recognize as a leader, they're actually bringing me a problem of which I can bring a solution to, right? They're not complaining. What does a complaint sound like? Somebody that's just like, oh, I'm just so stuck right now in my business. What are you doing? Well, not really a whole lot. Well, then you're really complaining that you're not really bringing me a problem to solve, right? Because the issue is not that the business isn't working. It's that you're not working the business, right? I typically, if you're somebody that's going to throw a lot of complaints at me, I typically start to just kind of ignore that a little bit, because I want to work with the people that are actively bringing me problems, because I'm here to help them and provide solutions and coach and help encourage them to move forward and pass this, right? I use that as role-playing opportunities, coaching opportunities. I tell them, hey, well, for example, I have people that'll text me, maybe they want to close a prospect a certain way. They send me a screenshot of what the prospect is saying. Hey, what would you say right now? And then I use that as an opportunity to almost get into some role playing. So I'll let them say what it is that they want to say to the prospect to me really quick. Maybe I change 1 or 2 lines. I explain to them why we changed those couple of lines, and then boom, right? So I use that problem that they brought to me. Okay. Hey, how do I close this prospect? This is what this prospect is saying. What would you say? That's a problem, not a complaint. Okay. I use that problem as a sign. Hey, this could actually be a future leader. Why? Because she's bringing me a problem. We're working out the solution, right? It's not a complaint. The other thing that I talk about is people that seek out challenges as opportunities. Okay. You're often going to find that a lot of people, they get frustrated by challenges. They quit because something got hard. They quit because maybe they set out to set a goal on the first and it first came and they didn't meet it. And so now they're like deflated. and they're over it, they get complainy, right? They get stuck, they get frozen, they stop moving, right? But you're going to find that potential future top leaders, they look at those things as opportunities, right? They don't complain. They use it as a challenge to get better and improved. Hey, you know what, man? I've been doing this same thing. I'm stuck here. Been doing it the same way for 10 days now. What's going on? Let's kind of work at this. Let's dissect it. I want to use this as an opportunity. Is there something here that I'm not doing? You're going to see that they start like going into like dissecting mode, right? Like I want to get past this. Maybe I'm a little bit frustrated, but more importantly, I want to use this as a way, what could I be doing better to overcome this and push through it, right? Instead of, gosh darn it, I'm stuck. I'm going to give up. This is it, right? People who seek out challenges as opportunities, that's going to be a major indicator that you have a potential future leader in your organization. Okay. I want to get to platinum, right? So you understand that when you're on your road to platinum, what's going to happen? It's not going to be a straight up climb, right? And anybody who says platinum in this chat right now can say that, right? If you're a platinum in this chat, was your climb to platinum straight up? Or did you encounter some challenges on your road to platinum, right? I can tell you as a 3-star platinum, I incurred a lot of challenges. I incurred months where I plateaued in my growth. I incurred times where I lost a leader, right? I incurred times where I was fighting with I incurred times where I was fighting with the leader. Okay. All of that I used as an opportunity to grow. Okay. Now that I went through that, what is it that I could have done different? How is this going to help me get better? Right. That's how I look at my challenges, right? Not, gosh darn it, I can't believe this is happening. I'm just going to throw my foot in my sand and my hat in the sand and call it a day, or whatever the case may be. I always use those as opportunities to be able to grow and learn. Okay. So with that being said, guys, remember that you guys all have the power you all have the potential to positively influence and develop people. Okay. You all have the potential to positively influence and develop people. And so how is it that you can go about creating a positive influence on your team? Okay. So let's talk about that as well. Okay. I always tell people, don't get stuck on telling your team what to do. Okay. You ever have a leader that's like, post 10 times, and they're just telling you what to put or what to do. Okay. You'll actually have a greater influence on your team if you combine the what with a how and a why. Because now what's happening is you're actually explaining everything in a full circle to them, right? So you're not a micromanager of a boss. A boss just throws orders, do this, do that, They're really, really barky, right? But a true leader that wants to positively influence the momentum of their team, okay, they're going to say, hey, this is what we're going to do, okay? This is how we're going to do it. And oh, by the way, if we don't do these things, then X, Y, and Z is going to start happening. So what do? You didn't just say, do this. You explain, hey, this is what we got to do. You want to get to gold. This is what we're going to have to do. This is how we're going to get you to gold. So these are the actions, the steps that we're going to take to get to gold. And if we don't do any of this, well, then we're going to get stuck at gold, right? And I know that you're really needing that extra $1,000 to help out with your family, right? Bring in a little bit of pain and suffering because people are motivated by that, right? So I'm going to give you an example of this. Okay, an example. This is me talking to somebody on my team. Okay, Kelly, look, today we need to find 25 people to talk to and expose the business opportunity to. Okay, Kelly, what I want to do, let's go ahead and go into Facebook right now. Let's start engaging in some groups. Why don't we refresh your ad on LinkedIn? Why don't we refresh some ads on Craigslist, right? And then also, Kelly, I just want to remind you, right? Exposure is key, as you need to invite as many people as possible to the opportunity call to weed through the no's, right? You need to weed through the no's to get to the yeses. So it's really, really important that you keep your exposure rate up. Because why, right? If you don't expose and keep that momentum, you're not going to be able to achieve gold by convention. And we want to see you walk that stage. We want to see you get into our leadership events, right? Do you see how now I took that, just telling her what to do, and I explained in full circle the what, the how she was going to get there, okay? And the why is important for her to get there, right? She told me she wanted to walk the stage. Great. So Kelly, every time I talk to her, right, I'm gonna circle all that back into each other, okay? It's not just getting stuck on what to do, but like I said, guys, write this down. You will have a greater influence when you combine the what with the why. I'm sorry, the what with the how and why it's important. Explain to people what it is. Why is it that we're, going about it this way, right? When we're talking about doing consults with clients for travel clients, why is it so important to qualify your client? Just say qualify. You have to qualify. You have to qualify your client. Remind them, why is it important to qualify, right? Well, Susie, it's really important to qualify your client because that is what's going to lead you to do less research, right? Because you're actually going to get really specific with your client. You're going to understand the experience that they're wanting. You're going to get to really hone in on what it is that they're wanting, a 4 or 5-star hotel. So that way, when you go pull up your vendors, right, you're going to be able to click through all those filters. And so instead of pulling up 500 results or 500 hotels at Cancun, maybe we only pull up 30 because you've qualified your client so well, right? And so these are the questions that I want you to ask, right? So now I'm telling her what to do, right? Qualify your client. I'm telling her how, I'm giving her some of the questions, right? But I'm also explaining to her why it's important. And so, aha, light bulb moments are happening. Now I understand. Now Sarah's not just barking at me, telling me to qualify my clients like a lunatic lady, right? She's actually, oh, that actually makes sense now, right? How many of you guys, when you get told what to do, you're like, oh my God, versus like when somebody actually takes the time out to explain to you the full process, like that full circle, and you get a much greater understanding. And so now what I find personally, when somebody takes the time out to explain the not just the what to do, but the how to do it and the why to do it, when I get that full explanation, I actually can move a momentum a lot faster. And I actually become more repetitive because I remember that conversation. And so it's easier for me to keep up my momentum because it's not just, I know I need to qualify. I know I need to post. Oh, but that's right. She's also showing me how to post, but also in the why, right? Because I need to get to convention, because if I don't expose, because if I don't qualify, right, I'm not going to hit the stage. I'm not going to get into leadership. And so it's a constant reminder because my leader took the time out to really explain to me in full circle instead of just shoving down orders, right? Don't be an orderer. Have a positive influence by taking the time to really explain and expand on that with that individual, okay? The potential to positively influence and develop people, guys. So I'm going to leave you guys off with this. We're going to keep it short because it's the last one of 2023. Influencing and inspiring others comes from the person, not the position. Let me repeat that again. Influencing and inspiring others come from the person, not the position. You don't have to be a gold leader to inspire and influence your team. You understand that? You can be a day one agent and start influencing and inspiring others because it comes from the person, not the position. And in fact, I encourage all of my new agents, when they start coming up, when they start doing great things, I love that they have a voice. I encourage them to have a voice. I encourage them to have opinions. I encourage them to show off their bookings because why? I understand the power of the positive influence and the inspiration that they're giving to others. When a day one agent just comes in, makes a booking 24 hours, 72 hours into the business, I want them to voice that. I want them to show that off because it is positively influencing and positively inspiring others to do the same thing. That has nothing to do with, oh, you have to be an agent for 6 months or do any of that. No. Because I understand that influencing and inspiring others comes from the person, not the position. And then I think the last thing that I think people sometimes forget is, and sometimes I get this told to me too, is Sarah, you're so confident because you're a 3-star, right? If you talk to Charles Lee and all the ones that helped me come up, they're going to tell you that maybe I was a little rocky at first, but I remember back in the day, Charles Lee, he was explaining this theory of cards, right? So there's 56 cards in a deck. He said, Sarah, look, there's 56 cards in a deck right now, right? And so you got to figure that for every 56 cards in your deck, you're going to get 4 aces, right? Your aces are like your clutch, your powerful leaders, right? And I told him, like, early on, I wasn't a platinum. I don't even know if I was a gold. Maybe I was a silver. And I straight up told Charles, I'm going to be one of your aces. Claimed it. Why? Because you don't need the paycheck to create posture. You don't need the paycheck to create posture. In actuality, it's the reverse, right? You actually need the posture before in order to create the paycheck. Okay, so remember that. You need the posture first to create that paycheck that you're trying to go after. So don't fool yourself and don't get caught up in the mindset of, oh, I can't do great things because I'm not X, Y, and Z yet. No, 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 no. Have the posture within yourself, because I'm going to tell you guys, it starts here first. This is where it starts, in between your ears. It starts with you here first. Once you decide, that's it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're not a platinum yet. It doesn't matter if you're on your way, if you've been trying to get gold for 6 months. It doesn't matter. Because the moment you decide to turn that posture on, that is when that paycheck's going to start coming. That is when you're going to see positive momentum. That is when you're going to see positive energy. That is when you're going to notice that you're much more in a better position to positively influence others. Because the posture, it starts with you, not the paycheck. Okay, guys? Oh, I love all of these comments, guys. You guys are awesome. We got 82 people on. Here we go. I got a question in the chat box. If you guys have some questions, we'll go ahead and take some questions. Miss Izzy said, what do you tell partners when they want to quit because they feel burnt out and not making enough money? Do you try to convince them to stay? For me, Izzy, what I always do is I always tell people, number one, don't ever make permanent decisions on bad days. Don't ever make permanent decisions on bad days. And I empathize with them. I understand that you're a little bit overwhelmed. Maybe you're feeling a little bit, discouraged right now, right? There's nothing wrong with empathizing with them, right? Because we've all been there, right? Maybe we've tried something and we're not seeing the results that we wanted. And instead of bashing them or saying that you just need to kind of push through it, right? I'll empathize a little bit with them and I'll tell them, hey, listen, don't make permanent decisions on a bad day. It's okay. You know, in this business, you will have bad days, but I know that you can push through that, and I believe in you to succeed, right? And maybe talk about, if and it depends on what kind of relationship you have with them, right? Do you know why they started this business, right? So is that something that you can bring up and remind them, right? I even start this with my prospect. What were you looking to make a little bit better by jumping on our opportunity calls today, right? And I'll use that later on. Hey, look, you told me that you wanted to join the business because you want to retire your husband. Well, let's do that. 2024 is going to be amazing. Let's do that. Let's get down in 2024 and let's really change things, right? Encourage them, support them, right? That's kind of what I do. And I encourage them to make realistic expectations, right? So setting little goals, like what kind of money are you making right now? What kind of money do you absolutely need to make in the next 2-3 months? Okay, how do we scale that out? And I give them smaller steps, because sometimes I feel like people come in here with unrealistic expectations of, I'm going to kill it, I'm going to make 10 G's my first month. And then, very rarely does that happen. And then when it doesn't happen, they get a little bit deflated, right? So it's learning to also redirect people into making more realistic goals that I find sometimes will help. And then, like I said, my biggest thing is always encouraging never to make a bad decision or a permanent decision on a bad day. And there's been so many times where I've gotten people and they come back and they're like, Sarah, thank you, because you're right. I was having a really bad day yesterday and I'm so glad that I talked to you, because I don't want to quit this business. I do want to retire my husband. I do want to push through, right? And it's not blowing smokes and glitter up there, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I tell them, like, it's going to come with highs and lows. It's okay. You can have a bad day in the business, but that doesn't mean that you need to quit the business. Right? Because I could tell you for sure what's going to happen if you quit. If you quit, you're not going to get the retirement from your husband, right? And I want to help you get there. So I like to do a little bit of encouragement there. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. I love it. I love it. I love it. What do I need to do and have done to do? I'm not sure I understand the question. What all do I need to do and have done to have gold? Are you talking like structure wise? I think do I just get that? I don't know. Let's see, answered. My questions answered. Structure wise for gold, it's 15 on your personal main account. And then you need to foster and grow three of those kids to silver. So you need to have 3 silver legs with 15 personal directs. Alrighty, guys, I am super excited that we hopped on here. We killed it tonight. You guys were great. We had, I think, almost close to 90 people on this call tonight. I feel like we're super blessed. to be able to have you guys come on. And thank you so much. You guys could have been anywhere this Sunday night because I know it's time for the holidays and maybe you have family coming in, but you decided to be here with us tonight. And to me, that means the world, because that means you're choosing to invest in yourself. You're choosing to invest in bettering yourself, having a positive influence on your potential team and all of that. And so that means the world to me, guys. I really, really am fortunate. I'm blessed to be able to be here and spend some time with you this evening. So I want to thank you guys for coming on and hopping on and learning all of the amazing goodies. Hopefully I helped you guys. If this helped you guys, do me a favor. I want you guys to know we have some amazing leadership here inside of our Founder Council. They get on every Sunday and they pour into you guys. If this is your first time to Evolve Call, I promise you there are so much more better ones that you guys need to be hopping onto. So if this helped you in any way, if this gave you some good feels or some good nuggets, please encourage others to continue to come back to these Time to Evolve calls because they're phenomenal, and I'm always inspired by the leadership that's running these calls. And I'm just very blessed that I'm even considered to be part of this leadership group in this amazing organization. And I want to wish everyone a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I can't wait to see you guys at birthday. Get your birthday tickets, get your convention tickets, get your regional tickets. I'm going to tell you guys, there is nothing like getting in the room with leadership. There is nothing like getting in the room with other agents and meeting them and getting to support and create connections. Every time I've seen new agents come to an in-person event, I promise you, the number one thing is, I'm so glad it's changed my business, right? You're a little bit iffy, come to an event, see the culture, see the community, see the support, see the inspiration, hear other people's stories, and it's going to absolutely change the way that you're currently looking at your business. It's going to make you stronger. It's going to make you feel more connected. It's going to just have an overall positive impact. So please do me a favor, and you just get to commit to, at bare minimum, getting to one of our live events this year, guys, in 2024. Do not let 2024 go by without getting in the room at one of our events for our company. It's absolutely amazing. And we're very blessed that we have people like Ron Archer, Reggie Rivas, Tony Evans, David McCovey that actually get in the room and actually sit down and spend time and have conversations with you guys. Many of you may not know, but that's not an everyday thing for other companies. And other companies, you can't touch the CEO, you can't touch the founder, you can't do any of that stuff. And you guys are given multiple opportunities to do that multiple times throughout the year. So please hold on, seize on to that opportunity. I love you guys. I thank you guys. Have an absolutely blessed Sunday. And like I said, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Thank you, Solange. Go ahead and take it away, my dear.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Sarah. Guys, show some appreciation. I know you guys have already done that. Sarah has really kind of set you up for January, right? To just, take your business to the next level. We will definitely see you back here in January. We have the next few weeks off. We'll let you know what our start date in January will be for our first Time to Evolve call of 2024. But guys, have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Enjoy the time with your families and make sure that your business is productive. And definitely, I'm going to upload this training by tomorrow. So definitely come back and get the information from this training. Have your folks listen to it because